Hello, everyone. Here we are. I'm Professor McCoy. Good evening. Welcome back to Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Oh, all right. So, if you recall, as we left off, and the thumbnail kind of gives us a hint to this, we are just plunging beneath the Great Sea to go and visit the magically preserved land of ancient Hyrule. Link and his journeys. I love this music. I gotta say, I've said this before, but while I can't quite say that the Wind Waker has the best of almost anything in any Zelda game, it's not the best in the series in any one category, I don't think. No, not true. Best boomerang. Definitely is the best boomerang. As we know, I beat the giant bird boss with the boomerang last week. There was that. But that's a relatively unimportant category. Let's be honest. I was going to say it doesn't have. I don't think it has the best music. However, it has by far the best atmospheric music. The music in this game, every musical track, does the best job of setting the mood and the theme of whatever location or scene or combat or whatever that Link finds himself in. Like, behold, listen to this. It's the perfect mixture of like grandiose but also ominous, because so much about this is very ominous, but also like, look, this ancient grand cathedral, the Temple of Time, presumably, it's awesome in the fullest sense of the term. Anyway, cutscene time. Let's see. Are you him? Are you the... Hold on, let me turn it up a little bit. Are you the one who is speaking through my stone without my permission? Answer me. That stone is an enhanced version of the gossip stones long spoken of in the legends of the Hyrulean royal family. I am the one who made it. You made it? The royal family's gossip stone? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Have neither of you heard the tales? Tales of the kingdom spoken of in the legend of the great hero, the place where the power of the gods lies hidden. This place, where the two of you now stand, is that kingdom. This is Hyrule. And I am its king, Daphnis Nohansen Hyrule. Link, do you not recognize my voice? It's easier when I'm doing the voice. Indeed, I am the one who guided you here. I am the king of the Red Lions. Hey! Hi, Grace. Welcome. Good evening. Glad to have you. There was no need for me to reveal my true identity to you so long as that blade, the Master Sword, could defeat Ganon. But now, both of you must listen to me. Once, long ago, the land of Hyrule was turned into a world of shadows by Ganon, who sought to obtain the power of the gods for his own evil ends. Let's see how far the camera pans. Is it just gonna keep going? Oh, yeah, there he is. Look, it's Ganon. Gonna pan straight to him. Is it gonna stop? Yeah. Oh, look at that framing. Oh, nice. Love it. My power alone could not stop the fiend, and our only chance was to leave the fate of the kingdom in the hands of the gods. When the gods heard our pleas, they chose to seal away not only Ganon, but Hyrule itself, and so with a torrential downpour of rains from the heavens, our fair kingdom was soon buried beneath the waves, forgotten at the bottom of the ocean. Yet all was not lost, for the gods knew that to seal the people away with the kingdom would be to grant Ganon's wish for the destruction of the land. So, before the sealing of the kingdom, the gods chose those who would build a new country and commanded them to take refuge on the mountain tops. Those people were your ancestors. Hundreds of years have passed since then. So long as Ganondorf was not revived, Hyrule would remain below, never waking from its slumber. Tetra, come to me. This is a really predictable twist, but it's been foreshadowed a lot. Ooh, cool. I forgot about this. Completely forgot that she had this. This has been foreshadowed a whole ton throughout the game, so it's I think a really well done twist, right? It's a huge change in the sort of narrative character and narrative structure of the game, of the story, I should say. But it's not one that just comes completely out of nowhere. It is very predictable, especially if you know what to look for. But even if you don't, right? You could have guessed that Tetra was not just a pirate, right? Especially with the painting that's hanging in her cabin, right? There's little hints everywhere that really just sort of give it away. But even if you're not paying close attention to them, they're sort of bouncing around in there in the old noggin, right? So when the twist hits here, it all sort of fits together. It puzzles it together for you. I think this is one of the better obvious twists in a lot of fiction. This necklace you wear is part of the sacred treasure called the Triforce of Wisdom, which has been passed down for many ages within the royal family of Hyrule. Your mother passed this down to you and instructed you to treasure it and to guard it with your life. Am I not correct? Your eyes are enormous. Look at this. I'm sorry, that's a funny expression. I love it. The Triforce of Wisdom is none other than the sacred power of the gods that we have kept from Ganon's clutches for so many long years. The gods placed upon your ancestors the task of protecting it from evil's grasp. You too must abide by the laws of the past, and so the time has come for me to teach you the fate into which you were born, the very reason that you live. Ooh. I really like... I like what The Legend of Zelda tends to do with fate. Fate is absolutely a determinant in the Zelda worlds, because there are these fated people, the Links, the Zeldas, the Ganondorf, singular, the incarnations of demise, if we want to think in Skyward Sword terms. Yeah, there you go. But it's fate that still doesn't override the choices of those involved. Link is the chosen hero. Yes, because he is destined to be, but also because of his heroic actions that you, the player, are doing. Zelda is the princess of legend, the embodiment of wisdom. Not simply because she's of the royal bloodline, yada yada. Not because simply she's destined to, but because she embodies wisdom and acts wisely. Even as a pirate, we see that she is wise and kind, especially for a pirate captain. Ganondorf is not simply the embodiment of power and the incarnation of demise because he is. He is because he is the one who chooses to grasp that power and act tyrannically throughout history. It's a bringing together of what you might think of in sort of scholastic metaphysical terms as primary and secondary causality, which I think I have a video on. Hold on. Let me write this down. Yes, I do. I have a video on primary and secondary causality, which is a rather complex concept, but it's a really important one in terms of figuring out how to reconcile fate and determinism, so to speak, and free will. It's essentially that the things that happen in the world, the things that we do, especially, are caused in a primary sense by God, fate, but they're caused in a secondary, more direct sense by our own particular choices and actions. And both of these can coincide in a similar way to how, um, say, a character, excuse me, a character in a book does something both because the character does it in the narrative of the story, but also does it because the writer writes it that way. And there's nothing contradictory about these two sort of layers of causality. The same thing is this is actually a great illustration of this sort of fate that we see these characters embody, but they embody it actively, willfully, voluntarily. You are the true heir of the royal family of Hyrule, the last link in the bloodline. I thought he was Link. No. Anyway, sorry. It's the second time I've made a really bad Link pun this week. So I was threatened the last time. It was fair. You are Princess Zelda. Zelda? I'm a princess? You are confused, aren't you? I suppose such is to be expected. Link? I don't know who said that. I am terribly sorry that you have been caught up in these events. But now that it is known that Tetra is indeed Princess Zelda, Ganon will be searching frantically for this giant in an attempt to gain the power of the gods that she possesses. He will not rest until he has found her. If he succeeds, my ancient kingdom under the sea will be turned into a land of shadow and despair, and so will the world you know above the waves. Link, I need you to lend me your strength in this dark hour. I have a suspicion that what has caused the Master Sword to lose its power. I need for you to come with me back to the lands above the water, and return the power to repel evil to the Master Sword. Let's do it, Zelda. It is far too dangerous for you to join us in this task. Fortunately, this sacred chamber is not yet known to Ganon. It is my wish that you wait here in hiding until we return. I will leave out snacks for you for at least until we return. Yes, I understand. Stay safe in this hidden magical chamber and all that, but she's also just hanging out here, right? That's unfortunate. That's the response I would expect, you know? Link, we must go. Why did he do that? Why didn't he just walk? Okay. You gotta be dramatic, don't you? Link. I don't know how to say this. Everything that's happened to you and your poor sister, it's all been my fault. I'm so sorry. Don't worry about it. Link. Be careful. Oh no, Grace, I think you are, at least currently, the only one in the chat. I think there's somebody else watching. Don't worry. I rather often have a slow chat, especially during the beginning of the stream. All right, let's go. Mr. King, Link, listen well. The fact that the Master Sword lost the power to repel evil suggests to me that something has happened to the sages who infused the blade with the god's power. The sages should be here in Hyrule in the Wind Temple to the north and the Earth Temple to the south, praying to the gods. You must head for these two temples to see what has happened to the sages and attempt to find a way to recover the power to repel evil. Okay, when I read this the first time, I was like, wait, we're gonna play Under the Ocean in Hyrule? Then, unfortunately, Ganon seems to have erected some sort of magical barrier down here in Hyrule, blocking our path to the temples. But each temple should have another entrance, high upon Hyrule's mountaintops, which are now islands above the sea. And you see, there we go. Now we go back up, and we go into the normal overworld, and it's not like a complete two-part game, which would be... I still think that would have been really, really cool to do, but man, that would have been... I don't think that would fit on a GameCube disc. Let me put it that way. Now then, if we stay here much longer, we should draw our enemy's attention to Princess Zelda's whereabouts. We must return to the surface immediately. I agree. Let us go. Very cool. Link, do you know the legend of the Hero of Time? Once long ago, he defeated Ganon and brought peace to the kingdom of Hyrule. A piece of the Triforce was given to the Hero of Time, and he kept it safe, much as Zelda kept hers. That sacred piece is known as the Triforce of Courage. When the Hero of Time was called to embark on another journey, they left the land of Hyrule. He was separated from the elements that made him a hero. See, so this is a direct sequel to Majora's Mask. Right? So because he left for Termina. This also is, somebody was asking about this last week. This also indicates to me that Termina is not just, like, Canada to the US kind of thing, but that it is a sort of different realm, a different... I hate to use the cliched term, but something like a different plane of being, or plane of existence. It is said that at that time the Triforce of Courage would split into 8 shards and hidden throughout the land. Even I do not know where they rest, but this much I do know. They lie hidden somewhere in this great sea. The Triforce of Courage is the only key that will once again open the doorway to Hyrule. You must search for it. Okay, so we've got to go up here to Gale Isle. And we got to go down here to Headstone Isle. But neither is a thing we can do just yet, because first we need to go to Mother and Child Isles. But before that, I want to get the rest of these things unlocked. So let's do that right now, shall we? There. Oh, okay. No, it's already going the right way. More or less. Okay, we need to go here. We're pointed in the right direction. Let's go. Wait. Alright, we're full up. Alright. Oh, thumbnail looks cool. Zoom in on it. There's a couple of weird little Easter eggs in there. One of the thumbnail Easter eggs is very obvious, and it's that I've reused an old thumbnail with very slight edits. So that's one of my call it an Easter egg if you like. Basically, the idea, of course, being that I just reused my Hyrule Castle thumbnail from Ocarina of Time, I think. Yeah, Ocarina of Time. Because I made one for Ocarina of Time. Hold on. Can I stop at Tingle Isle? I should. I'm gonna stop at Tingle Isle so that I can get my Triforce charts. I have a couple of those decoded. Ooh. I think I only have one, right? Interesting. Tingle's chart. That's pointless. Except it makes this clunky noise. Oh god. All right. I'm not quite looking for the Triforce shards. I'm going to the north and I'm going to the two temples. The two temples are the next part, and then it's Triforce shards. Then, that part is mostly just explore the Great Sea until you find the damn things. But I have one Triforce chart here. Oh, you're on that part yourself. Did you do the two temples? The wind and earth, I think. Earth and air, whatever. Oh, you did already. Okay. Yeah, I'm on to those next. I know I need to warp to Mother and Child Isles, but I'm going to unlock the rest of the sea chart first. Earth and wind. That's what I thought. All right. I also messed with my my control stick sensitivity a bit. Oh yeah. Oh, you never got to those as a kid. Yeah, no, they're really well designed temples. I tend to really like both of them. Why is there tornadoes? Yeah. Yeah. This is Tingle Isle, right? Yeah, here we go. Sim says, I tried so hard to use not to use a guide. I'm glad to say I didn't solve in the old school. Nice. Nice, very well done. That is a challenge for some of the temples in this game. Some of them are kind of tough. No? Oh. No flowers allowed. Guess I already got that one. It kind of annoys me that there's the only resource in this game that there is a strictly limited amount of are blue chew jellies. You know. Disappointing. Hey. Heave ho! Oh, this is heavy. Just between you and me. This guy has another brother. If that guy could come spin this thing instead of me. Heave ho! Oh, Mr. Fairy! I've been longing to see you, sir. What should we play? What do you want to play? What? You're not just here to play. What? That fragrant, musty scent? Sir, you have found a chart. Splendid! Show me. Why, you can't read that chart at its current stage. Impossible, sir. Would you like me to decipher it for you? For 398 rupees. Yeah, fine. I have rupees galore. Oh, you still haven't found all of them. You don't need all of them to get a blue potion. You only need one. You can just get one blue potion per chew jelly. That's all. if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. Also, I should go to the auction house, shouldn't I? That's another side quest to do. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll do a side quests thumbnail. Maybe next week. Mr. Fairy, I've marked the location of the tribal shot on your incredible chart, too. When you open this chart by pressing Y, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Tooltips. There we go. Need 15. Ooh. Wait, how did I already get a blue potion then? I could have sworn I already got it. Not bad. Oh, he didn't mark it on my chart. On that chart. Did he mean he marked it here? Heart? Ooh, there's a heart piece down there. Better do that. Eventually. Get around to it. You found all the heart pieces. Damn, that's actually rather impressive. I almost never get all of the heart pieces in any Zelda game. I'm trying to think if there's any I did. I don't even know if there is literally any Zelda game where I found all of the heart pieces. Congratulations, that's impressive. I will say, I'm not much of a completionist when it comes to Zelda. I mean, I like to get all of the major things, but heart pieces have never really inspired me as far as, like, collectibles. It's like, in Twilight Princess, that I actually, in one playthrough, I think it was the original game, not the HD version, I think I actually did get every bug. Which was the major, like, collectible quest thing in that game. And oh my god, that was... Oh boy. That was an arduous... Excuse me, that was an arduous quest. Ooh, platforms. Let's do it. Why not? Markfly says, I personally don't play the games. It's my cousin and brother who are still the actual gamers. Oh, you watch. Look, watching... As somebody who live streams video games and watches live streams. Well, okay, that's not quite true. I tend not to watch live streams live, honestly, which I understand is maybe a little hypocritical of me. But mostly just because I prefer my YouTube at faster speeds. I usually put everything to 1.5 speed. Give or take. Anyway, I absolutely understand, can sympathize with, and ultimately agree with the idea that that watching a video game can be just as fun. Hey, really? Getting to that one is going to be rather difficult, isn't it? That one's easy. That one I'm absolutely going to have to hit the draft. Imsim says, is there really such a thing as adults, or are we all just kids with added responsibilities? Now that I'm an adult who works in education, I get to see the behind the scenes. I feel everyone is a kid in some way or another, despite what the exterior they put on. I talked about this. When was it? It was a little while ago, and it was it was a major point that I was making when I was talking. I forget when. I think it was at some point when I was playing Majora's Mask. But it's. I feel like we sort of culturally have stopped being able to just have fun. Oh boy. Whee! There we go. Hey, no, stop cannoning. I don't want to get cannoned. But yeah, I don't think that it's necessarily the case that we just simply don't have fun. Because I mean, it's more like, how do I put this? The simplest way of me saying it is that it's no longer cool to have fun. Or maybe I should say it's no longer cool to just goof off. To do silly things, you know? Because when I was in college, which let's just say the first half of the onesies, right? So between like 2010 and 2015, which is not exactly when I was in college, but around then. In that half decade or so, I think that it was a cultural trend almost to just goof around, to do stuff that was just silly and just for fun, you know? For example, the example I always point to is that during my undergraduate, my time as an undergraduate in college, let's say, I was in not one, not two, but three live-action role-playing games, LARPs, that took place on my college campus. 3 different ones. Oh, sorry. No, not true. Was it 3 or was it 4? It might have been 4. In any case, it was a bunch. And this involved, you know, anywhere between, like, 20 and 100 20-somethings running around a college campus, fighting with fake weapons. Whether that was, like, foam boffer weapons, or whether that was plastic lightsabers, whatever. It basically involved a bunch of grown-ups playing like kids. You need to wipe out the cannons around the towers? Why? I don't want to... I don't want to do that. That seems annoying. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, yeah, I need to... There he is. Mr. Fish. Come here. But back in those days, 10 years ago or so, it was culturally fun and accepted for grown-ups to just play. This was also the same time period where you could gather literally over 1,000 college students to play a week-long game of tag, humans versus zombies, running around throwing socks at each other and shooting each other with Nerf guns. That doesn't happen today, right? There are a few like major Nerf war type things that are still going on, but they're like big national things where you get from around the country, maybe you'll get 1,000 people. This is from one university, right? Where you'll get that many. This was back when you could just say, hey guys, do you want to like run around campus and go climb stuff? And you could like walk around the dorms and get 12 people to just run around campus and climb stuff. Like, just going around and doing fun stuff, like we were kids, was socially acceptable and cool. I feel like you don't have that anymore. You know, I mean, maybe it's just because we're so online now, but I don't think it's just that. I think goofing off, just being silly, has lost a lot of its cultural appeal. Hey, mashed potato. I think you were here the last time I was talking about this, so vouch for me here. You know? Sim says, my college literally rented out bounce houses. We had a game we played like hide and seek. I remember our roommate climbed a tree and hid for over an hour. They had laser tag. D&D was huge. Okay, right. When was this? If you don't mind me asking. My guess is it wasn't after 2015 or 16. Because what was it? It was summer of 2016 was when Pokemon Go was released, something like that. And honestly, that was kind of the last big hurrah of, you know, kids, roughly speaking, but adult kids, going out and goofing around and, you know, acting like kids. Mashed Potato says, I think it's one of the appeals of White Boar Summer. The general desire just to goof around, to do something worth telling stories about. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think there's still an appeal to it, but I don't know if there's a drive to actually go and do it like there used to be. And actually, honestly, it's kind of a thing that I try and encourage my students to do, is to just go and do something. Like, I had a student last semester who was talking about how he saw on TikTok there was some guys who were just, you know, fighting with toy lightsabers, like glowing force effects kind of lightsabers, just on a college campus somewhere. And he's like, oh man, check this out. There's a video of it. And he's like, you know, it'd be really cool to just do that, you know? And I just said, okay, do it. Literally, just go do it. You don't even have to record it. Just don't do it for the meme. Just go do it. It'll be fun. Trust me. Just go do it. And he was like, you know what? I might. I actually don't know if he wound up doing it or not, but I really hope so. I really hope he did. But that's the kind of thing. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, I would absolutely 100% go. I would sponsor student organizations that do that sort of thing. Back in the day, I did all the time. I'd still do it today. I kind of want to start trying to encourage that kind of thing more and more. But I don't know. We'll see. It's the kind of thing that I think kids these days, by kids these days, I mean like 20-somethings, are missing out on. Okay, you went to college in 16 to 22. Changed majors, and tacked on more time. Everybody does that. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah, MSimp, do not feel bad about taking extra time or changing majors. Your average college student changes majors 3 separate times. I did twice. So I'm below average. So, yeah, don't feel bad about that. MSim says, this is going to sound strange, but I find myself having more fun and can be myself more around white people. I'm Hispanic and feel Hispanic culture can be extremely rigid and hardcore gender norms. Interesting. I've actually heard that before from a lot of Hispanic, more nerd friends. That said, there are plenty, so you're not alone. But I would expect in the sort of goofy nerd culture, maybe of that recent past. I think demographically, men are wildly overrepresented because, of course, Hispanics are probably underrepresented pretty significantly, and I think black people were slightly overrepresented. Because I had a lot of black nerd friends, like more than I had black friends in any other kind of context. So I think that was a. And that isn't to say I just avoided black friends in other contexts. It's not it. It was that was, I think, an overrepresentation. And I think a lot of it is that it was something that was sort of interracial that anybody can really just jump into. And so, I don't know, I'm theorizing. I think there might be something to it. Sim continues, but what I mean by this, my sister is allowed to goof off and be lazy, but I always had summer jobs during college. My high school was 3 times the size of my college, and yet D&D wasn't big. Yeah, cultural thing. Yeah, I think it really is a cultural thing. Like I said, a lot of my Hispanic nerd friends have said similar things, and a lot of my Hispanic non-nerd friends have kind of expressed interest, but not enough interest to actually do it. That kind of thing. So, yeah, no, I get it. Amsip says, my best friend is black. We met in college. Actually, a huge nerd, hardcore. Yeah, I mean, it's actually super common, and people who aren't in nerd culture are often very shocked by how interracial it tends to be. Because the stereotype of nerds is a bunch of like pasty white dudes who never leave their mom's basements, kind of thing. But it's really not. It never has been. Think about the gang from Stranger Things, right? They got Lucas from season 1. They got like one of the only black kids in school in this little Indiana town. and he's one of the nerds. You know, like, but of course he is. Why not? Why wouldn't he be? And why would they exclude him? That'd be ridiculous. They're already excluded by everybody else. Why would they exclude somebody based on race? Mashed Potatoes says, one of the nerdiest guys I know is black. A black overweight weeaboo. That describes like a dozen of my college friends. No offense to any of you black overweight weeaboos out there. I love you. I really do. But there's a bunch. That is a very common, almost stereotype. Yeah, I wonder how long it's been since the light in Windfall's lighthouse went dark. Oh yeah, that's something I can do. It was quite a grand sight, I tell you. The way that ray of light shone out like a shaft of gold through the cold darkness. I used to gaze on it with Dick Gillian. Anyway, I bet if someone could shoot a powerful spark into the top of that lighthouse, it would light up again. Ah, so I need fire arrows. Got it. Of course, that's just my intuition talking. Then again, you should never doubt a fish's intuition, small fry. Alright, that's about Windfall. That's not actually about this island. I thought I was going to get information about this island. I'm not. I'm just going to have to blow up those rocks with bombs. Good thing I have 99 of them. Let's see. Overshot. Nice. I'm also going to have to go to the very special, very fancy Beetle shop here. Imsim says, my friend group was the only, I was the only Hispanic guy. Notice my family, the men are expected to be workaholics, alcoholics, and womanizers who can't remain faithful to their wives. If you don't mind me asking, what particular type of Hispanic? Because I know that that's kind of a stereotype, but also that only certain nationalities tend to be. Like, of the Hispanics I know, a lot of Cuban folks I know aren't quite like that. Mexican American? Yeah, that also. I wasn't gonna say it, but there you go. That also. Oh my god, it's too brilliant. Treasure! Cool. What did I get? Chart? Art? Treasure chart. I love how I find buried treasure and it gives me a chart to find more buried treasure. Gimson says, I find these cultural expectations incompatible with Catholic teaching, although I do enjoy drinking socially. I love going to dive bars. The money pit. Yeah, it is a money pit. Like, social drinking, great. Cool. Fun. I think that alcohol as a social lubricant, great. Then again, I'm like Italian and Scottish, so of course I think alcohol as a social lubricant is just keen. But it just depends on what kind of alcohol, which side of my family. That's it. But yeah, I've been drinking an occasional glass of wine with family dinners since I was like 11. So yeah, I get that. Mashed Potato says, I feel my most social after 4 drinks. Yeah, okay. I mean, I mean, I can take it or leave it as far as 7 more days. 500, absolutely. Let's get it. Heck yeah. Art piece, 950. Can't afford it. Register at 900. Bye-bye, all of my rupees. Oh my gosh. Fantastically outgoing after 4 drinks. I mean, yeah, I tend to get, louder, I guess, when I've had 1 or 2 in me. I'm also not one to get drunk either, though, so. Sim says, I also don't like the idea of being a womanizer. Well, you shouldn't. It's also, a bad thing. Despite living that life dude in college, I didn't at all. I'm married to my college girlfriend, so there's that. He says I'm ashamed of so many wasted years pursuing women about love. Had one serious girlfriend, it didn't work out, sadly. I think I tried to numb that pain by dating other women. Thankfully, I've left that part of my life behind me. I don't believe in constant dating. I'm at a point where I only want to date towards marriage. Good, good. That's more or less the right way about it. I mean, it's always unfortunate when you have to go through bad decisions to get to good decisions, but at least you get to the good decisions. It could be a lot worse. You could, go through a bunch of bad decisions and then just stick with them forever until you die. It could be worse. You could be, Andrew Tate or whatever. Oh my god. What the heck was that about? Mashed Potato says, something about having a few drinks just quiets down all the critical thought in my head. There's no thinking about what someone will say or how they'll feel about me. Oh, see, I just never cared. That's the thing. I was raised with what a lot of people would probably consider an unhealthy level of self-esteem. Like a lot of, well, like some millennials. I feel like millennials have a bizarre, like myself, millennials my age roughly, have a bizarre dichotomy between extremely high and extremely low self-esteem. And I was raised very much with the high levels of why would I ever care what anyone else thinks of me? I'm probably just better than them anyway, so whatever. There's one that, sorry, no, that's not true. There's like 3 people who I really, really care what they think of me, and that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's what matters. And to a lesser degree, like members of my immediate family. Beyond that, great, cool. If you want to be friends, awesome. Let's be friends. If you don't like me, your loss. That's it. I think that is an absolutely healthy attitude to have. Maybe I'm biased, but it served me quite well. You've seen those weird rings of light. Really, this again? Yeah, okay, he's just telling me about treasure circles. Okay. Oh, I didn't... okay, bad. Darn. Yeah. When I said I had... by the way, when I say I had a pretty extremely high level of self-esteem growing up, it may have been a little bit too much. To the point where that got a little bit extreme, to the point where I kind of... It wasn't even just, why should I care what you think of me, or what anybody thinks of me. It was... It in some ways got to the point of, why should I care what any of you lesser people care about me? Me, who is obviously superior. I basically just developed such an incredibly high opinion of myself that I didn't care what other people had to say, because the dark side of this is I kind of developed a relatively low opinion of other people. Now that's unhealthy, right? That's not good. Don't go that far. Don't go as far as I did in that respect. But a good level of who cares what other people think, great. It's an incredibly beneficial attitude. Recommend it if you can develop it. It's fire? That's interesting. Let's go here first. Oh, there's a male here. Oh, well that's it's hammer time. Let's get the mail first. Good evening. Letters for Link. 2 letters. Cash on 200 rupees. I don't have it. What's the other one? Have you been, big brother? I'm here on the pirate ship writing you this letter. Isn't that neat? At first I was really scared, but they're all actually nice for pirates, I mean. Mr. Gonzo is a really big guy. But ever since Miss Tetra left, we've been crying like a baby. It's kind of funny. Sort of sad, too. Nudge is a little strange, but nice, too. As for Senza, his beard makes him look pretty mean, but he tells really cool stories when he gets in the right mood. Zuko is kind of weird. Mako is pretty quiet. Mako immediately gets mad whenever I try and take his glasses, so I do that a lot, hee hee. As usual, Nico is always fooling around. He won't take anything serious. Actually, he seems sad not to have you around anymore. Were you guys really good friends? I helped them all out with their chores, and they actually paid me a little for it. I'm sending the money to you. Please use it, big brother. I'll loan you my telescope for a little longer, but you have to return it to me eventually, okay? Doing fine here, so don't you worry. I'll take care of myself. So you be sure to take care of yourself. Good luck, Errol. I got a red rupee. Hey, that means no, still can't afford it. Still can't afford it. Oh, well, hello. Mashed Potato says that's something I need to develop. I'm in my head far too much. And I start thinking about everything before I even start talking. I mean, thinking before you speak is good. It's just a matter of what you're thinking about before you speak, right? On the one hand, you could be thinking, oh, well, what are these people going to think of me? On the other hand, you could be thinking, is this the right thing to say? The latter, great, good, excellent. The former, less so. Because I always try and think of whether what I'm going to say is the right thing to say, whether that's because it's true or because it might be true and it is on the way towards discovering the truth. Because I'll say as well, a lot of my harebrained ideas are not things that I actually hold to be true. Ooh, sweet! 60 arrows, love it. Ease your weariness. I'm gonna catch a fairy. Come here. Come here. Got it. You look so sad. Yeah, a lot of the ideas that I kind of put forward are not ideas that I necessarily hold to be true. They're ideas that I think maybe might be true. And so I'll just throw it out there and be as extreme as I possibly can with my crazy harebrained ideas. And hey, maybe I'll turn out to be right, and maybe we'll discover that together. Because nobody else is going to say these crazy, vaguely stupid things. But I will, because I don't care what you have to think. So I think that's a useful social and philosophical role. The idea guy. Mashed Potato says, I used to speak without thinking a lot as a kid. It might be an overcorrection for social fallout, being a little too loose-lipped. True. I mean, it's hard to shake habits that we get into either as a kid or in reaction to being how we were as kids. Sim says, back on Zelda, what do you think the fierce deity Link is? To remind his counterpart of Link, a god? I tend to think that it's something that it's probably some kind of ancient force that was made to counteract and combat the dark spirit of Majora. Right, so that we're told about the ancient tribe. We're told about that ancient tribe, right? That harnessed the spirit of Majora into this mask. Well, why would they have only harnessed one powerful spirit into a mask? Why only one? That seems bizarre. I would expect it to be a common thing that they did, and very likely they harnessed the spirit of some contrary force. Grappling hook, yeah. Yeah, I know that. Codependence, yeah, I know that. I do that all the time. Speaking of, let's go to there. Let's try your idea and blow up the cannons, shall we? There we go. The dark... Oh, so they might be the dark interlopers mentioned by Lanairu in Twilight Princess. Or the same that became the Twilight. Yeah, I tend to think so. I mean, aesthetically, they're very, very similar, too. I mean, if you look at Midna and Midna's magic and all that, it's very similar to... it's very similar to Majora's Mask. It's also, if you'll note, very similar to Girahim from Skyward Sword. So maybe there's a further connection there. Can't confirm. Really glad I didn't dive in after him. Accident. But yeah, I do tend to think that that's probably right. They're the ones that became the Twilight. I don't remember who likes skull necklaces. Who I give those to. Okay, it doesn't actually say if I completed it. Impsim says, from last stream, I take your knowledgeable on Joseph Smith, all the churches that spawned from his initial movement. Mormonism, broadly speaking? Or what do you mean? Wait, no, that was Joseph Smith? What are you referring to? Probably. I'm having trouble placing the name for some reason. Okay, so Mormonism, yes, vaguely at least. I mean, I've looked into it for both apologetic reasons and for sort of, the study of theology. For what it's worth, I also tend to think that it's Mormonism in general. Here's my general point. My general thoughts on Mormonism. That it is non-Christian. And that I would go further to say that it is further from Christianity than even something like Islam. That Islam is closer to Christianity than Mormonism is. Because at least Islam is genuinely monotheistic. Mormonism is, again, as best I understand it, and at least most versions of it, is, strictly speaking, either polytheistic or either monopolytheistic, in other words, there's one small g god, or henotheistic, that there is a god, there are a bunch of gods, one of which we are supposed to worship, is our god. But it's polytheistic in its metaphysics, in its metaphysical theology, which is, I think, much further from Christianity than something like Judaism, which is Christianity just missing some things, some really important things, but just missing some things, and Islam, which is just a Christian heresy. A really weird guy on an island due east of here. Had a pack on his back, huh? Huger than any pack I've ever seen. I mean, it was B.I.G., right? He said he was looking for treasure, but what's he expect to find in a place like that? I tell you, the guy's completely obsessed, and that's all the info I've got off. East of here. Green fish. I'm gonna try and figure it out. Reefs. Gods, Triangle Island, Thorn Fairy Island. Ooh, I can go back to Thorn Fairy Island, can't I? It's B.I.G. Yeah, I think it's a different B.I.G. I don't think it's the same guy. Might be, but I kind of doubt it. Actually, it says, I hate talking to Mormons. They just want you to convert. Won't interact with you at all if you show any resistance. That's kind of true. As far as like the Mormon evangelists, that's absolutely true. Like Mormon missionaries type of people. But that's not actually my experience with like Mormons when I'm just, chatting with them as guys. Because I do know some Mormons that I just sort of chat with, like, dude to dude kind of thing. And they don't tend to be like that. I can even, to some degree talk theology with some of the Mormons I know. Not all. At least some of the Mormons I know, just in terms of if I'm already speaking in that sort of context. Is this worth my doing? This is probably not worth my time, but let's see. Will says, the only Mormon person I've ever interacted with any regularity was an Italian guy. That's odd. YouTuber known as Metatron. He's Mormon? Really? I didn't realize that. Huh. What is it with... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna rant about this because between him and Shad, that's strange. Oh, your friends on Facebook. Oh, okay, very cool. The weirdest thing is the guy's Italian and a linguist. That is bizarre. Yeah, that's really weird, Will. I had no idea he was Mormon. That's really weird. Weird for a lot of reasons that I'll get into momentarily. Imsim said, Joseph Smith taught different things, even on the nature of God during his life. It's led to many churches spawning after his death. The biggest group based out of Utah are polytheistic. Yeah, that's the sort of mainline LDS Mormonism that I think most of us are familiar with. I at least am. Those are the ones that I know the most people from that group. Want to hear a secret? I mean, it depends. Is it your secret to tell? On the internet? All I'm saying is, be appropriate. Biggest group is run by his oldest surviving son, who's Trinitarian. Interesting. The next biggest group. Right. What was the group? I'm actually not that familiar. Oh, you saw Mormonism. Just tuning in. Well, here you go. Now we're talking. Let's go east. Oh, it's your own secret to yourself. Okay, good. Then proceed if you'd like. Yes, do go on. Yeah, I will say, two of my favorite history YouTubers, Metatron and Shadiversity, who are both Mormon. And I will say, in terms of, like, broadly speaking, what would you call it? Values? I don't want to say ethics per se, because they also tend to avoid things like natural law in terms of meta ethics, but whatever. In terms of, say, applied ethics, Mormons tend to be great. So that's absolutely it's absolutely a good thing. They're great in that respect. But and that applies to Metatron, that applies to Shad too. Culturally speaking, spot on, fantastic people. Um, mm, Sim says, good thing you're not sharing your real name here. I've never told anyone save one soul. I do not recommend this. It's sinful to do this because it involves lying. I'm a Catholic infiltrator in the Mormon Church. Yeah, I can't say that that's a particularly good idea, a particularly good thing to do. It doesn't. No, okay, it does not necessarily involve lying. It may simply involve deception by omission, which is sketchy, but not necessarily as wrong. I currently hold a leadership position. I'm studying it from the inside. Sadly, that means participating in profane rituals and a ton of lying to many people. Double life and is very hard. Yeah, you should probably not do that. Not to live your life for you, but as an ethicist, yeah, don't do that. Cannot say I endorse that sort of thing. In fact, rather to the contrary. Uh, now, it's studying Mormonism from a sort of anthropological perspective, especially given that it is a secretive mystery religion, broadly speaking, it may involve that kind of infiltration on the part of some people, on the part of researchers, so to speak. So, and I will say, if you're gonna do that sort of thing, at least prepare to do some kind of academic documentation of it, right? Still don't do that sort of thing, but if you're going to, you know. So, anyway, what can I say? And Sim says, I do want to stop. Don't know how they keep moving me up in leadership position using these covert propaganda. I mean, one thing you can do is just stop showing up, which maybe that's not the best idea. You could come clean, but that's going to... See, so you've written a few things, you want to write a book. I mean, if it's... I'm torn about that sort of thing, because lying for the purpose of academic discovery gets into issues like research ethics. Right? And I tend to be a little bit more lenient in terms of research ethics than a lot of ethicists tend to be. But that kind of outright lying and deception, and for the sake of infiltration, I can't say that's a good idea. Let's see. Will said, yeah, or at least it used to be Metatron. I remember Metatron made a post on Facebook, and it generated a massive fight in the comments. The atheists tended to be the most aggressive, though. Yeah, yeah. Atheists hate Mormons more than they hate almost any other Christian group, which is weird. Except maybe Catholics, which kind of telling. Um, and sometimes Bible thumping evangelicals, but they tend to look down on them in a way that's rather different from both Mormons and Catholics and other groups. I think why atheists tend to hate Mormons is the same reason they tend to hate Catholics, which is both of us make extreme moral claims, and extreme moral claims that we claim as applying outwards, not just to ourselves. It's a big difference from a lot of Christian groups. Heartflower says I'm Irish. Irish and Métis, right? Canadian, French Canadian. So predisposition to alcoholism runs the bloodline. Yeah, that mix will do it. Above average self-esteem detected something I wish I had. Simpson says, for me, it's a mixed bag. It was genuine temptation. I ended up dating one of the female missionaries when she went home. Surprisingly, I prayed to get out of that relationship, and I was delivered, thankfully. I remained single to ensure my kids aren't raised with us. And that's, I mean, look, you're. It's also one of those things where you made a bad decision at some point, presumably, and you've dug yourself very deep into the hole, and it makes it naturally impossible, I would say, to dig out. And it's the kind of thing that requires a kind of miraculous help, sacramental help, I would say, especially. I mean, talk to a priest. That's the best I can say, because you probably need God's help on your way out of this sort of thing. Heartflow says, I mean, I also grew up high mask and autistic in a small town, so I don't know what self-esteem is. I mean, fair enough. There are some of those concepts, some of those psychological concepts that just do not make sense to me either. And maybe it's because I was very much diagnosably, but not diagnosed, on the spectrum as a kid. But a lot of the symptoms have disappeared as I've gotten older. Whether that's because I've sort of developed past them, or whether that's I learned to cope with them, or whatever, hard to say. Um, but regardless, I I'll say things like the introvert extrovert distinction makes no sense to me. The whole you get energy from being around people, or you get energy from being alone. I'm like, what kind of energy? I get energy from food and caffeine. Like, what are you talking about? None of this makes sense to me. But yeah, some of those psychological distinctions just don't click with me in any way. So I see what you're talking about. I see what you're getting at as far as like what does self-esteem mean? Yeah, well, I get that. I get what that. And if you don't get it, there's no way of explaining it that won't seem ridiculous. So I'm not. I don't. If it doesn't make sense to you, then maybe it just doesn't apply to you, and maybe that's fine. Tim says what I can say is there's a huge sense of purity and a lack of humility. Yeah, I've gotten that. Definitely gotten that impression. You must be spotless to enter the temple where Masonic rituals happen. Literally? Like, have you seen a good deal of Masonic ritual? Because a lot of Masonic rituals have now been recorded, and you can see them publicly. You can see them online. Is a lot of it the same? Because during my endowment, I prayed prayed the Hail Mary internally. I did baptisms for the dead. An outright mockery of the sacrament of baptism. You dunk another person multiple times, and it takes the true meaning out of the sacrament. Yeah, it does. And that is in accordance with everything I've ever heard about Mormonism. Is that it is that yeah, they do baptism, but they don't do baptism in anything like the Trinitarian formula. And even if they use some of the words of the Trinitarian formula, they don't use the intention of it. And essentially, it's a it's a twisting of um, a true baptism. I'm what you call a traveling merchant. Yes, I'm just a cheery fellow who bounds between waves in search of all manner of rare items, cracked and pristine, wild and woolly. I came from distant lands because I heard there was a treasure of great worth on this island, but I can't find a thing. I thought perhaps my fate would cross with the most mystic of rare items, the fabled Shop Guru statue. But it seems as though I'm off the market again. No, unfortunately, I don't have that. Oh well. I have this nice flower I'd like to give you, though. He looks like a Goron, which is weird. He's the only Goron in the game, if so. By the by, for some reason, looking at that delivery bag of yours gives me the sneaking suspicion. It might have some rare treasure hidden in its depths. If you have anything even slightly out of the ordinary in there, would you mind trading it to me? Anything at all? This knapsack I'm lugging around is stuffed full of all sorts of wondrous things. Why don't you show me what you've got, and I'll show you what I'll trade for it. Happily. Here. Use the Deku leaf on him? Okay. Why not? I'll try it. You've falsely consecrated their sacrament, the Eucharist. Pseudo-Eucharist. Leftovers are tossed in the trash, and though it isn't the real presence, I found it extremely sacrilegious. A lot of Protestants do that too, though. Any Protestant group that doesn't believe in the real presence, and even some that do or claim to, like Lutherans, just discard leftovers. They don't reserve the remainder of the sacrament because they don't think that it retains the body, blood, soul, and divinity of the Lord. So, just don't care. They have no reason to care, really, based on their theology. A town flower, is it not? In that case, would you be interested in trading that for this sea flower? Yeah, cool. Most worthy, then my fee will be, well, I suppose 20 rupees will do. Sure, why not? Thanks, that settles things. I'll give you your item as promised. Hold out both hands. Yeah, he's definitely a Goron. Look at him, look at his mouth. Sim says on the Masonic Park, secret handshakes are done inside. It said you cannot enter heaven unless you know these. Joseph Smith was a Freemason and stole a lot from their rituals. Interesting. Interesting. They do a lot of consecration of the temple type of stuff, at least from what I know. Well, again, very interesting. A lot of that does seem to parallel with Freemasonry. Yeah, I do. I will find a place to put that. Sure. Oh, trading my goods, no good for my goods. We formed a merchant's oath. As such, from now on, I shall honor a merchant's oath by sending shipments of my product to the Windfall Island shop. How did you know that? The postman will take it there for me, so it'll likely get there before you do. Just head back to Windfall, see for yourself. Thanks again. Okie dokie. Oh, let's go. All right, on we go. On we go. While there's a lull, while we're just sort of exploring, things coming up for me, channel-wise, things like that. I have a few videos planned on iJedi, the next of the Star Wars EU novels that I wanted to talk about. If you look, I've got various bookmarks in there, separated out by video, so I've got at least 3 planned here. iJedi, by the way, is my absolute favorite novel in the Star Wars EU, and it's probably my favorite Star Wars story. Like, if even including movies, it's absolutely phenomenal. So I've got a few videos planned. It is also, by the way, sort of in terms of current events of interest. It's also the novel that introduced the idea of cortosis. So if you've been following The Acolyte, and you were wondering what the hell is up with the helmet and the gauntlet thing, well, cortosis. That comes from iJedi. It was a Michael Stackpole original. It was done much better in the book. It even happens to be, I will mention, where we find cortosis is in it's purely decorative, but a decorative mask and gauntlet is how we see this stuff. Oh, there you go. I wonder if they actually borrowed that and just made it worse. Probably. Will says, not sure if you're accompanying much gaming drama these days, but there's some stuff going down between Pirate Software and another YouTuber called Luis Rossman about live service games. No, I have not. I haven't followed that at all. I've been following the Wizards of the Coast drama about how they were sending things out to YouTubers to review the new 1D&D or 5.5 edition or 6th edition or whatever they wind up wanting to call it. And then copyright striking some of them when they showed images from the player's handbook and stuff like that. I've been following that, which is horrific. Any kind of abuses of the YouTube copyright system just drive me up a wall. As a semi-professional YouTuber myself, I hate the YouTube copyright system. It is unbelievably disastrous. I currently have tons of copyright claims on my channel, and I'm working through them a couple at a time. The problem is it takes 30 days to get rid of a claim. So what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it, basically. And it defaults to the alleged copyright holder. It defaults to the claimant. Nothing about it is in favor of creators. Nothing at all. So there's very little you can realistically do within the YouTube system, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrific, and I just it's almost not worth trying to fight it, which is why a lot of times you find YouTubers copyright smuggling when they're using clips that are perfectly within fair use, They'll still put like all kind. They meaning we. I do this too. They'll put all kinds of filters over it and stuff to get it past the YouTube's automated systems. And I'm not monetized for anything, so it usually doesn't affect my channel at all, and it usually doesn't even affect the video, except from reach. It does affect reach, which really sucks. But it's like it's irritating because it vastly negatively affects the quality of the video when it is, first of all, completely protected by fair use, and then two, beyond that, it's also just it's contrary to academic standards, because every time I use a clip or something, it'd be in place of a quote. It's where I would insert a quote into a paper. But instead I'll show a clip, or I'll display a visual or whatever, and then that'll get copyright struck, because a quote is usually more than a few words, which is what you can fit into the 3 to 10 seconds that YouTube copyright filters will ignore. And now with WotC copyright striking just images, now what are we supposed to do? Come on, because they're doing it manually too. It's not even through YouTube's like automated AI systems. They're manually going in and striking people's channels, and putting in DMCA claims, which that's effed up. So on this one though, Will says basically Rossman wants the EU to regulate the live service games environment. Oh, that's... Man. Okay. There's a petition going around trying to get signatures. Rossman is flying it under the banner of Stop Killing Games. Their website summarizes something like this. Okay, so that's two of my least favorite groups of people in the world fighting each other. Live service game developers and the European Union. Those are the two of the worst things on the internet right now. Will says an increasing number of video games are sold as goods, but designed to be completely unplayable for everyone as soon as support ends. The legality of this practice is untested worldwide, and many governments do not have clear laws regulating these actions. It is our goal to have authorities examine this behavior and hopefully end it, as it is an assault on both consumer rights and preservation of media. I mean, yes, but again, I think that... Okay, here's my hot take. And I'm probably disagreeing with both sides on this matter, but because I'm a sane person who thinks about stuff. That's why. That how you avoid this problem is not by adding more government regulations. You solve this problem by taking them away, by removing things like DMCA and copyright protection. Right? Because if you remove that sort of thing, you remove all of the various disincentives to just keeping your own game software, your own game on as its own software. Basically piracy, right? Well, look, see this? Does this look like a GameCube controller to you? I don't think so. I mean, so the counterpoint to this is, right? I've purchased this game twice, I think. No, I've only purchased this game once. I didn't buy the HD version. But I bought this game. Bought this game like 20 years ago, almost. So, like, no, over 20 years ago, actually. It came out in 2003. So yeah, over 20 years ago. I bought this game, but I can't exactly stream my GameCube copy of it. Nor can I easily play it when I'm sitting here nicely at my desk. So what I do is, I just download a version of it. Great. Now, if it were released on Switch, I'm sure a lot more people would buy it. But Nintendo doesn't want to do that. They want their very special digital collections, blah, 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 blah. Right? So they're relying on these bizarre government laws restricting the free sharing of unlimitedly replicable data. In other words, a non-scarce good. They're applying artificial scarcity to a scarce good, which is basically the definition of usury, by the way, in order to stop the free flow of information, which is morally heinous. And so that is the problem. The problem is not that companies are doing this really sketchy thing. They're doing this sketchy thing because of the bizarre legal loopholes that they can hide in. having to do with copyright protections. That's what's going on. That's the problem. Get rid of that, and you get rid of all of these problems. All these problems go away. Not all of them, but most. That's maybe overstating, but again, most of these problems go away, and the problems that don't go away are relegated to a small niche of video game media rather than becoming like all pervasive. So there you go. Imsim says when Vader told Luke Palpatine would show you the true nature of the Force. What did Vader mean by the true nature of the Force? He means the same thing that Palpatine told Anakin before he was Darth Vader. I have studied. Oh God, I'm not going to get the quote right, but I have studied the vast array of. I've studied many aspects of. My teacher taught me many aspects of the Force, beyond the narrow view of the Jedi, even the nature of the dark side. So Palpatine is basically saying, you know the light. I know both the light and the dark. And I will teach you the rest. The part that the Jedi would not show you. Basically, he's treating the dark side as if it's some dark secret. And by learning it, you learn not just the light, but which you already know as a Jedi, but you also learn the dark. So you learn a more complete picture of the Force. That's the propaganda point. Of course, this is nonsense because the dark side is simply a corruption of the light side. So you're not learning anything new. You're just learning to twist what you already know in a corrupt, incomplete sort of way. So that's what he's getting at there. At least that's how I take it. At least that is in the context of the full saga. That's how I take it. It's, by the way, it's also I'm now currently reading Legacy of the Force, the series about how Jason Solo falls to the dark side and becomes Darth Caedus. That's the exact same line of reasoning that tempts Jason into falling and becoming a Sith. That he has explored many aspects of the Force, some even beyond the narrow view of the Jedi. He's gone and studied esoteric Force traditions and has kind of cobbled together his own idiosyncratic or syncretist view of the Force. But he's missing Sith teachings. And so Lumaya, the Dark Lady of the Sith, kind of tempts him into becoming a Sith by saying, well, you're missing this. This is the little bit of knowledge that you don't have. The only thing you don't have, because you've studied everything there is except this. And here it is. Silver platter. So he ruins the galaxy because his syncretism didn't go far enough yet. Hippies, man, I'll tell you what. Anyway. Am I familiar with the channel called Esoterica? I don't think so. Will says, that was more my idea as well. Pirate Software is claiming this would kill games. Yeah, definitely. Any kind of EU regulation is cancer for anything digital. Brossman just wants to pile more legislation into the industry. The issue to me seems obvious: copyright laws. Absolutely. Is that Pirate Software's view? Did I actually get the other side of it? Did I actually side with one side instead of being a weird fence sitter? That's weird. You see the boats sailing around here with the real huge cannons, right, Fry? I bet you those things have their hulls packed with treasure. Of course, if you don't have a cannon yourself, there's no way you'll ever sink one of them. And that's all the info I've got. Yeah, okay. They don't really. They drop a smallish little thing. It's not even that big of a thing they drop. What's this we have here? Am I familiar with the story surrounding King Solomon, the lore and legend of how he's supposed to build a temple? The Freemasons version? I actually am. I was kind of obsessed with that sort of thing back when the History Channel was cool. That's interesting. Oh, I see. I see what I need to do. No. Can I... Oh, jeez. Bow, boomerang, claw. Yeah, no. This is the perfect setup for this game. Occasionally switch one out for the hammer, I guess, because the hammer, you need it in narrow circumstances. Or the leaf, or whatever. Oh, hey. Nuts. Got it. Okay, so I don't actually have... I know I just got a letter. I don't remember who it's from, but it's premium mail, so I actually need like 200 and something rupees for it, so... Too far up there. Here we go. Oh, I need the fire and ice arrows? Darn it. Okay. Well, I can always come back. Darn it. Uh-oh. It's bad. Oh, okay. Yeah. Turns off the flame. Oh, that's what does it, isn't it? Damn. Okay. What I need to do is kill these stupid birdos. Oh, here they come. I need the fire arrow for that. But only that. Okay. Try this one more time, shall we? Yeah, my wife plays games. She's actually been thinking, if you guys can convince her. She's been thinking of also having her own streaming channel. But with the kids up and her computer being out with them, I have mine in here mostly for work reasons, for like, you know, classes and recording and office hours and that sort of thing, Zoom meetings and whatnot. It's a little bit harder, but she's currently just playing D&D, so she just joined a Waterdeep campaign. Not Dragon Heist, apparently, but a campaign where it's set in Waterdeep, which is like one of my favorite parts of the Forgotten Realms setting is Waterdeep. Love it. I really hope there's not a time limit on this. Yay! Whatever this is. Hey, nice. 3. All right, cool. Yeah, she's been thinking about one of the things she's been thinking about, or a couple of things she's been thinking about, is playing a game or two and having me sort of yap over it, and having it be more conversation, me and her talking while she's playing. Because there's a couple of games that aren't really my style, like, oops. Oh shoot, what's it called? Would You Kindly? The underwater Ayn Rand simulator. Yeah, what's it called? Bioshock. That's it. Bioshock series, which I have, but I've only played one. It was a good while ago. But it might be a good game for me to talk about. Oh, wait, I need to go south, not southwest. But it's one of the things that I'd like to maybe talk about on stream, but I don't know if I'd like too much to play it. Same with New Vegas, right? I've never got into the Fallout series. I never really jived with the setting. So it would be an interesting thing to talk about, but it's not really my style to play. And so we've also been talking about her playing New Vegas, or maybe Fallout 3, and me talking about it. So those are some options. Those are some ideas that we've had. So maybe doing that sort of thing. Might be a cool thing to do. It's EU4. What's EU4? Imsimp asking if I play strategy games like Age of Empires or Total War. Not often. I tend to think in way too micromanagey terms to reasonably play RTSs. I like turn-based strategy games. They're a lot more fun. And Step Island, eh? Europa Universalis. Okay. Yeah, some of those, like Age of Empires, some of the older ones I've played, I really enjoyed. More of the turn-based parts, though. Paradox Games, Autism Simulator. Yeah. I've played some of those. Vanishes as soon as you get near it. Interesting. It. Wee bit of the right half of the moon is missing. Put this down. I still need the chart, though, don't I? A6. Diamond step. I still need the ghost ship chart to actually get to it, don't I? I forget where to get that. Come on. I'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure. Heartflyer said earlier, introvert extrovert is more to me how either you're in a social situations versus how you might really need to either recharge your energy battery, more than a social psychological sense of things. Yeah, I don't understand what social battery means, or energy battery. I don't know what that means. Like that's one of those things. That's one of those sort of social psychological concepts that just seems alien to me. Like I don't get it. Oh, Total War is turn-based? Is it? The battles are weird time. Yeah, it's the particular battles that just like I said, I get too micromanagey for most RTSs. Some of them I've had a lot of fun with. I've played a bunch of a particular Sins of the Solar Empire Mass Effect mod. That was great. Because okay, two reasons it's great. Oh, I can't get there yet. I need the hook shot. Two reasons I had a lot of fun with that one. One is because it can be relatively small scale, right? You can manage things because of the transport bottleneck of the relays. Right, so it's the Mass Effect portion of it specifically that allows me to kind of hyper focus in the way I'd like to. The other reason is because of the strategy I employ, which is the strategy of the Systems Alliance, the Human Systems Alliance from Mass Effect, which is very lightly defended outposts. Lots of them, with a few overwhelmingly powerful fleets. And those overwhelmingly powerful fleets need to be highly mobile. So I can rush in to defend my relatively undefended outposts at a moment's notice. That's the strategy. Have a few very mobile fleets that I can just rush in to defend whatever I want to defend. And so it's actually very easy to just select all of my fleets and have everyone rush into one particular area and just stomp anything that comes up. It's a great strategy for that game. It's also a great strategy that the Systems Alliance use in the Mass Effect canon. Anyway, that was fun. It's a weird little side thing. Let me see. Okay, actually, yeah, that is a hard flag. That's actually a good point. Autism Simulator to me seems more of a teaching tool for how autism feels versus a game. Um, Will says, I think Total War. Oh, so, okay, actually, yeah, hard flag to your point. Um, and yeah, Mashed Potato Johnson, it really is just kind of a term for that kind of finicky little strategy game. It's what really it is it's more like it's not so much an autism simulator as it's the kind of thing where autistic or neurodivergent thinking is rewarded by the game. It's that sort of thing. Um, Whereas now that I think about it, an autism simulator would be a really interesting concept. Something to explain to neurotypical, ordinary, non-autistic people, to sort of, or really to any kind of neurodivergence or mental illness or something, to kind of display what that's like. And I will say, of that sort of idea, I have heard that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice actually does a fairly good job at kind of putting on display what schizophrenia is like to experience. So that kind of thing is actually potentially really interesting. I'd like to see that kind of thing show up, and I think gaming is a good place to do it. So anyway, yeah, yeah, hopefully. I haven't played it. I've watched a stream of it. I have it. I actually do have it. I picked it up for on a Steam sale. I think Steam Summer Sale even. But at some point I have it. I just haven't played it yet. I'm thinking I might want to stream it, which is why I'm waiting to play it. So I might wait to play with it. I might wait to play it with you guys, but it would be down the line a little bit. Like I said, I want to finish this game. I did also pick up an emulated version of the Twilight Princess HD. I picked up a Wii U emulator, so I can play it here. And again, same thing. I bought it. I bought Twilight Princess twice. I got it when the Wii came out, and I bought the Wii U re-release. I think I still have the Wolf Link amiibo somewhere. It's really cool. I think it's the only amiibo I have, but it's still really cool. So I'm gonna be playing that next. At some point, I'd probably like to get back to streaming 2 nights a week. But then the other game will probably be something more science fiction, more futuristic rather than more fantasy. And then when I'm done with Twilight Princess, I'm probably going to move on to the Fable trilogy, because I've never played Fable. Never played any of them. And from everything I've ever heard about it, it would be a really, really cool game to stream and to talk about philosophically because of all of the moral implications and choices and that kind of thing. So, I might want to do that. That's tentative on my list. I still, as I've mentioned, I need to finish Pulse of Monster Girl Academia. I need to play the Stanley Parable on stream. And then my other idea for a more science fiction or future-focused game would be Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. The old, 2003 and 2005, I think they were. The old Star Wars EU games featuring Kyle Katarn. Some great Star Wars storytelling there. Fantastic. Let's see what this is. This is my last one, guys. That's it. We finished. We've filled in the sea chart. Horseshoe Island. Island due east of here lives an old man who was once a master swordsman. He's got proof of it too. He has a knight's crest. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I've fought with him. He trained me. That's Outset Island. Oh God! That way. Come on. Let's see. Oh, great. What the heck are you doing here? I did not think you could come over land. Oh, that was dangerous. Come on. What? Oh, it's golf. Okay, it's golf. Okay. Hey, it does work. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, we're playing golf, guys. We're playing golf, boys. Boys and girls. Boys and girl. I missed horribly. Let's try again. Also, I almost got bombed there, so that was cool. Man, I don't think it's gonna do it, is it? Oh, come on, don't do that. No. Stupid. That was dumb. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Whee! Really? Okay, never mind. Awesome. Oh. Wow, okay. Thanks. Thanks, that was handy. I didn't realize that. Okay. Hey, I can get... Oh, now I have to... Now I have to blow it. Okay. Yay! Okay, it did. It did make it. Alright, cool. Treasure. Treasure! Come on, Kang. What is it? What do you see? Beautiful. Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope? Nothing? Okay, it's literally a kaleidoscope. Okay, yeah. I actually don't know if this is the right way of doing this. Have I seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Some, but I haven't watched the whole thing. Certainly haven't, like, systematically. I haven't watched it all. Like, I used to watch episodes of it on Toonami kind of thing. Ow, really? The one episode we don't talk about out loud? You mean the one with the one where he transforms his daughter? That one? It's kind of famous. Or were we talking about something else? I didn't realize you could roll these guys off. Hey, no. Yeah, I'm familiar. What about it? Berserk? I don't think I've seen any of it. Maybe an episode or two at some point, but I don't think so. Alright, cool. Treasure. Would you say something like that is an affront to God, since man is created in the image and likeness of God, perverting the form of man through mutation is blasphemy to God? Yeah, probably. I think so. I generally think that almost anything that we do that that attempts to alter any essential property of a human being is, or to mutilate a property of a human being, is in some respect blasphemous. I think that in that way, if you take the sort of outlandish examples of things like unnecessary amputation or things like that, those sorts of things are, I think, necessarily. I think they are blasphemous as well. Anything that, like I said, mars or deliberately undermines a proper accident or property of the human person is also blasphemous. Let me know. I need that. It's like this close to proper 4/4 time conducting, which is down, in, out, up. Which it actually, wait, it should be if it's lefty. Oh, but he's left-handed, so it's mirrored to me being right-handed, so it should be down, right, left. Yeah. I've always, I was almost a drum major in high school, so I learned proper conducting and things like that. So anyway, honestly, right very shortly after this game, in part inspired in me an interest in that sort of thing. So there you go. Transhumanism is blasphemous? Yeah. Yes, well, I would say so. I would say so. At least insofar as it is transhumanism, rather than simply the augmentation of human capacities that are already existent, right? So I am a cyborg, strictly speaking, right? I have this thing here, right? My glasses, or when I wear contacts, are a technological addendum that allow my my natural faculties to operate better than they otherwise would. Now, it's a reparative cybernetic, and it's a non-implanted one. So with those two things together, it's far away from the sort of supernatural or superhuman enhancement of our natural abilities. But in principle, I don't see much of a problem with that sort of thing. Like if we could wear contact lenses, say that vastly improved our night vision, I think that would be perfectly reasonable. That'd be perfectly fine, and it would be transhumanist in a sense. It would endow you with superhuman capabilities, right? But it isn't in any way either undermining or replacing an innate human capacity. Sim says, one thing I can't watch in movies is where there are torture scenes where limbs are mutilated. Something about this seems profoundly wrong. Yeah, I have one of my weird little phobias is there's no English term for it, but the Latin is impudicatia, um, impermeability of the self, bodily holism, or bodily integrity. Um, it bothers me to think of or to have anything impede or or get in the way of, I guess, my bodily integrity. Um, like if the idea of there being something under my skin just it's just horrifically wrong. It disturbs the hell out of me. Even needles. I don't even like needles because it's something going in where it shouldn't go in, kind of thing. You know, it just bugs me. Just bugs me. Don't like it. It makes me all woozy. MCM says, I've heard there were some advocating for making rapists and molesters take the same hormone therapy transgender people um, to make them lose their sex drive. Yeah, that's actually a thing. It's referred to as chemical castration, and that's already a thing that happens. That's an optional. That is, I think, an optional punishment. It's never been actually enforced, but it's one of those. It's like as a condition of parole kind of thing. But yes, that is a thing. That's a thing that we do in the American legal system. I don't know if I approve it. There it is. Will says, so Neuralink wouldn't be strictly blasphemous insofar as it's augmenting existing human capabilities. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a bad idea. I don't think it would be strictly blasphemous. I think it's a bad idea because I think just in general, I think implanted technology is a bad idea. Okay, here's why. Think about the most common piece of advanced technology everyone has around. This. Okay? I tend to be behind on cell phone technology. This is a Galaxy S6, I think, or something. Regardless, it's like 7 or 8 years old at this point. I think I got this in like 2016 or 2016. It's like 8 years old. This is outdated. This is gratuitously outdated. The fact that I have not bought a new phone is absolutely absurd. I should. I absolutely will have to within the next couple of years. Like, this is not going to last more than another couple of years. I guarantee that. Okay. Cool. That's actually shockingly easy for me to do. In fact, there's a bunch of corporations that will do it for free. I can hand them this thing, and they will hand me a new one. And they will say, thank you for your business. Continue paying your monthly bill, and bing, bang, boom. No problems. All it takes is walking into a store and going, there you go. We will transfer all of the data from this one onto your new one. Would you like to keep your SD card? Would you like to keep all your settings intact? Yes? Wonderful. We can just do that. We have a plug for it. Wonderful. Excellent. Simple. Now, we'll get you a new phone sometime next year. Yeah, that's good, because also my case is falling apart again. This is my second case that this phone has gone through. My second OtterBox this phone has gone through, which, goddamn. But yeah, so think about the obsolescence of something that is not here, but is implanted in your brain. Even assuming that the obsolescence cycle is more than 10 years, if you're having to undergo surgery for hardware updates every decade or so, by the way, for each cybernetic upgrade, by the way, this is assuming that we're doing full transhumanism, like full cyberpunk kind of thing, you probably have a bunch of these systems implanted. There's a good chance you will. You're having to go in for surgery to upgrade your technology probably a few times a year. No one wants to do that. That is so contrary to, one, just sort of the human disgust response. And then two, American culture. Like we culturally don't like that sort of thing. We don't think like medical procedures. We don't like things getting all up in our business, right? There's no way this sort of thing is going to catch on. I don't think implantable technology is ever going to catch on. Wearable technology, yeah, look, wearable technology, like these things. This is wearable technology, and this has been around for 200 years, give or take. Common for 150. So yeah, I do think that, I think wearable technology, absolutely. I think non-invasive implantable technologies, things like cochlear implants with a major external component, sure, that kind of thing, yeah. Or if it's correcting something sufficiently severe. Okay, Will asks, aren't plastic surgery skyrocketing among younger generations in America? Yeah, right now, but give it 10 years. They're not going to still be doing it in 10 years. In other words, yeah, maybe you're going to go under the knife to get a couple of things implanted, right? Maybe you'll get a pacemaker, like you said, right? Maybe you'll get a Neuralink, and maybe you'll get like I don't know, night vision eye replacements or something weird. Maybe you'll get like arm katanas if we're going full cyberpunk, whatever. Maybe. But then, listen, you might do that when you're in your 20s. Are you going to go for the upgrade when you're 30-something? Are you going to go for the upgrade the next upgrade when you're later 30-something? And then the next upgrade when you're 40? And then the next upgrade when you're early 40s? No. Like, this is going to stop, right? And then the problem is that you've got embedded, obsolete tech for your entire life, which will probably be a shortened lifespan because you've got embedded, obsolete tech in you. What do I think about LASIK surgery? I'm afraid to do it because of the aforementioned, like, bodily integrity issues. It just skeeves me out like crazy. The idea of cutting open my eyeball, like the very thought of that makes me want to throw up. But I think it's really cool and it's really helpful to a lot of people. I don't actually see a problem with it, especially because it is correcting a naturally occurring system. It is not trying to replace a naturally occurring system. Replacement is very different from correction. I've got here a white chocolate matcha latte, or a matcha white hot chocolate type of thing. And the chocolate is kind of coalescing on the top, which is making it kind of finger food. So I apologize for being weird. It's me. Expect. But anyway. I do tend to think that a lot of cosmetic surgeries are sinful, if not blasphemous. Probably not blasphemous, but certainly sinful. Because most of them are done out of vanity. Not all, but certainly not all. Especially corrective cosmetic surgeries, but I think a lot of cosmetic surgeries are done out of vanity. Especially the kind of thing that you're talking about in younger generation kind of thing. Greetings, child. It seems the door to your fate is already swung open, has it not? I'm not going to do a little girl voice, and my little daughters are already asleep, so I'm not going to have them do it either. I'm the queen of the fairy world. What is the matter? Does that not surprise you, child? I hate that I know what BBL means. But yes, vanity. I absolutely despise the fact that I know what that means. I like you. And so I shall give you a new power, the bow that you wield. I will use my little puppet. Yeah. You'll actually give me 2 new powers to the bow, but whatever. Whatever. Hey, little fairies, what you got me? What you got for me? What you bring me? No, they've gone into my heart. The powers of fire and ice have been added to your arrows. Cool. I love the clickety-clack additions. I love this version of the Great Fairy theme. It's just... it's silly. I like it. It's very fey. Ice arrows can freeze the hottest flames, and fire arrows can melt the coldest ice. The fairies in this fountain will ease your weariness. Use them as you need to. Child, I must tell you, you're just my type, teehee. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. Fairy boy. I mean, that is one of Link's many nicknames, so. Giggle. Oh my gosh. All right. I will allow you to all enjoy the wonderful, beautiful ambience. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And we're back. Hello again. All right. I can get out here, I guess. I don't know why I'd need to. There's basically or literally nothing here of interest. Yeah, I think it's literally nothing here of interest. So let's get out of here. Wait. There we go. Let's go to somewhere? Windfall. Let's go to Windfall. No, let's not. Hmm. Hello, cat. There's a cat behind me. He may come to say hello. What do you think Majora is? Some kind of uh, embodiment of chaos or something like that. Fire Mountain. We can go here. We can do this now. Jingle, Cyclops Reef. Hey, Mr. Cat. Come here, buddy. Oh, Thorn Fairy Island. Let's go there. And it's right next to Fire Mountain. Hmm. Yeah, let's go to Thorn Fairy Island. And then maybe Fire Mountain. I know we're going to have to go to Fire Mountain to get one of the items for the temples. I forget which. It says, my canon is that every dog and cat speaks Spanish and constantly saying, damn, man, leave me alone. Yeah, got him. No, I refuse to leave you alone. You're a cat. Stay online. This is Turbo. He is the big one. I have 2 cats. They're brother and they're siblings, and this is the brother cat, and he is the dumb one. He's the big stupid one, but it's okay. He's good. He's good cute. He's a good cute. Oh, he's purring because I'm petting him. Now he's gonna leave. Goodbye, dude. Doxing the cat. They are my property. I can put them on the internet if I want to. I do it all the time. I put these little goobers on the internet all the time. You're a dog person? I'm definitely a cat person. I'm a cat and reptile person, as far as pets go. I love cats. I love reptiles. Both are wonderful. They're also very similar. That looks like Fairy Island, but it's not. It's up here. There it is. I see it. I love corgis. Corgis are acceptable. As far as cats go. As far as dogs go. Corgis are fine. They're not, I mean, I still don't love dogs, but if I'm gonna be around a dog, corgis aren't bad. Wait. Okay, I can do that. What do you mean acceptable, those tiny legs? Yeah, so what? They got tiny legs. Who cares? So what do they got tiny legs? Know who else has tiny legs? A baby. They're cute. Oh, past it. Let's see. Aha! I have passed it. Oh, I've already gotten it. That's why. It circles them on the chart when you've already gotten them? Are you kidding me? That's annoying. Okay, whatever. That was me being dumb, don't worry. I'm just a big dum-dum. Big dumb dummy. That's me. Anyway. Tim says, for context, in college I slept over at a girlfriend's house and she insisted the cat was sleeping with us. The evil beast at 3 a.m. zoomies and jumped over the bed. Lately, our cats they're getting old and annoying. And those things are kind of unrelated, but by annoying I mean they have a habit of peeing everywhere. They'll just decide that inside is the perfect place to pee right now for some reason. And so they have recently mostly not been allowed to sleep in our bedroom with us. But last night we let them in. Turbo, the one you guys just saw, decided that walking across us was a great pastime, and that doing so for like an hour between like 2 and 3 a.m. Was just a great idea. It was tons of fun. For everyone. Fun for everyone, as they say. So he's a dick. Nope, it's not that one. So that, and then also, he also pooped on the floor. So, definitely a dick. Definitely a dick. So, anyway, that's my little dickhead of a cat. I let him in. I trusted him. He poops on the floor. Thanks, bud. Cash on delivery. 200. Yeah, fine. Sim says, I got fed up after the third night, went to sleep on the couch, and her corgi curled up next to me and slept with me. I knew then that dogs were man's best friend. Felt like her dog was a sentinel. Okay. Look, fine, whatever. I like cats. I love cats. See, I don't care for animals that are so clingy and needy. It's dogs. Also, don't love the smell. Don't love the smell. I was an alligator trainer, actually, professionally, for a couple of years. That was fun. Like I said, I love reptiles. Alligators are basically cats running dinosaur hardware. To the esteemed Mr. Fairy Person, thank you very much for your purchase. Enclosed is an incredible chart. This chart will show you where you can find the Triforce charts. I want you to use it to find lots of them. They're my favorite kind of charts. Also, sir, have you been checking your Tingle chart? Have you seen those giant fairy marks? Follow the chart to them, and your fortune will greatly increase. I have, actually, thank you. Tingle. Incredible chart. Cool. That is handy. Whack. 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 Let's see, what do I get here? Waker of the Winds, allow me to aid you in your quest. What'd you bring me? More arrows again? Or is it something else? Ah, more arrows. 99. Love it. The fairies in this game give me an Indian vibe. Yeah, it's the headdress, it's the multiple arms, it's the little lotus flower. Yeah. It's a lot of things. It's the high-collared, almost sari kind of dress. Yeah, I think that they're very, very, very Hindi. I will just say in general, I've come to really like and appreciate, let's warp to Windfall, shall we? Yeah, let's do some Windfall stuff. I still don't know how to cure Granny. I still don't know what's wrong with Grandma and how to make her feel better. Anyone know? She needs something that gives her energy or something. It's not a green potion, is it? Is it green potion? Are you serious? Ridiculous. Yeah, I want to know. What is it? So I tried a blue potion. I tried a red potion. I can get an empty bottle. I have fairies in them. What is it? Is it the water from Forest Haven? Get a fairy? I have a fairy. In a bottle. I have that. It's not a fairy. It's not a fairy, is it? I have fairies. As you can see. Also, am I at ultra low latency? What's going on here? I might realize. No, I'm regular low latency. Okay. Really, it's a fairy. Really? Really? I have every time I've gone to her with all sorts of different things and just drank potions in front of her. Every time, my other bottle has had a fairy in it. It should give you soup, right? It's Granny's, like, soup with 2 servings or whatever. If I recall. Oh, I probably also have enough Knight's Crests, don't I? To do the next thing with the swordsman. So let's do that. Let's do that while we're here. Refills your magic, increases your attack until you're hit. Ah, that's right. Nice. Very nice. Alright. Oh, here we go. I didn't realize it was a fairy. I should have known. Ah, well, whatever. You hit him. Have to hit him without hitting 3 times. I've done the 100. I have not done the 500. Another sweet treat. Do I need another empty bottle for it? You lied to me. Oh, no, no, you didn't. Okay. Never mind. That's fine. I thought you lied. I was mad. Oh. Link! Is that you, Link? Grandma's always happy to see your bright, shiny face. Oh, it's a reward. Okay, cool. Cool. Link, my dear sweet Link. You're safe. That's wonderful. Just wonderful. Did you do this? Did you heal me? Oh, you're such a sweet child. Oh, that's right. You and your sister Errol are trying so hard to be strong, and I've just been sitting here moaning and worrying. I'm your grandmother. I'm the one who should be taking care of you. I'm so sorry, Link. I haven't even considered what you must be going through. I'm a terrible grandma. Link, this is all I have to give you right now. You can keep it in your empty bottle. Soup! My favorite. Man, I tell you what. One hearty soup. There's 2 helpings inside. She's the sweetest. You and your sister love this soup, don't you? If you run out, I can make it for you anytime you like. Grandma's going to try to be strong, so you try to be strong too. But don't do anything reckless, all right? I love it. I love my dear old granny. All right. All right, let's go see Orca. It's probably the last thing we do tonight, honestly. I have a feeling this will take a little while. 500 hits, man. Wish to fight me again, Link? What you say? No, it's not all you can do. You can take my Knight's Crests. Hey, Baze. Welcome back. No problem. Feel no obligation to watch the live streams. I appreciate any viewers that like to, but it's for you guys to watch. You know? Oh, yeah, no. He's not always an orphan child. He has a family in the next one, Twilight Princess, right? I think that's really the only other one. At least the one that we know of him having a family that I can think of. He's adopted in, was it Link to the Past? Wait, really? I thought he had a family in Twilight Princess. Huh. Knight's Crest. Oh, I skipped it. Not just anyone can gather them. No, it takes a soul who possesses not only power but wisdom and courage as well. Any courageous soul who gathers 10 of these crests can learn a powerful new sword technique. No, just the village kids. Oh, man. Huh. Link to the Past, he's living with his uncle. Oh, it's his uncle. That's right. Who was it where he was, like, adopted? Was it... Minish Cap? Good friends with Russell, wife and son Colin. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But my brother and I dreamt of learning this technique in our youth. We worked so hard to collect the crests, but it took many long years and adventures beyond count before we even approached finding 10 of them, and we both grew old. It appears you have enough might to learn the technique now. Minish Cap was actually really good, especially considering that it was like a Game Boy Advance mobile game. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Perhaps you can master it. Very good, Link. Heed my words. Let's fight! Full beat, build up power, then release it. Come at me now. Do it. This is so absurd. I want to say they have a manga or something that goes into extra detail about a few of the games. I mean, there's Hyrule Historia, the big old hardcover book, which I have somewhere over there. I forget where I put it. I have it, though. I don't see it on my shelf. Must be on the other shelf. Could be in the living room. Now hit him 500 times. Yeah, great. Here, let's go. Learn the Hurricane Spin. It consumes magic power. Here we go. Amazing, Link. You did it. You've mastered the Hurricane Spin. At last you have made our long-held dream come true. Oh, the joyful tears, they won't stop. I thought my tears had dried up long ago. There's nothing left for me to teach you. I'm certain now that you will save your sister Errol and bring her home to Outset. She's on a pirate ship now, it's fine, don't worry. Okay. You wish to fight me again? Yes. Yeah, I already hit him 100 times. I think the next one is... the next one's 500? Very good, Knight. No, try to hit me 300 times before I hit you 3 times. Oh, it's 300 this time. So, when I first started playing this... Ow! Really? Okay. The first time I played this, I did not realize that it was counting the hits that were... I didn't realize it was counting the hits that were getting blocked, like these. I thought it only counted the counter hits. So this took me, like, days. Ah, I thought I was going to be able to block it. For some reason, I'm having trouble with the combos. Ow, too late. Okay, let's try again. Also, the finishing moves in the corners can get you stuck, and you can land a hit after you're animating. It's the wall. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember a lot of the techniques for these. Yeah. Let's try again, shall we? I can do it! Yay! I don't know if I can do the 500 tonight. I don't know if we're gonna have time. That one attempt, that I didn't even get halfway there, that took, what, 8 minutes? Yeah, that was actually very dangerous. I was probably too far away from him. For the counter. I know a lot of the times, especially for the roll counter, if you're too far away, you can roll right into his attack. It also kind of bugs me that jump attacks don't count double. Okay, I'm already doing better than last time. Oh, he got me once. Okay, spoke too soon. Ooh, that was almost a disaster. Okay. See, when I hit his guard, it totally counts. But when he hits my guard, nothing. He hits the shield. Okay, 200. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this one. Feeling good. Oh, the little pokey. Just not fair. The little back hit. That was so cheating. Getting close. Twilight Princess is the best swordplay in the series? Probably. There we go. Go ahead, hit me. I said hit me. I said hit me. Coward. Ah, okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Skyward Sword has competition mostly because the Wii Motion Plus motion controls are actually really good. And it really works with it. Like, you could not port Skyward Sword to something with a normal gamepad, like to the Switch. I mean, I guess you could use this. You could use the Joy-Cons because they still have the motion control and everything, but you couldn't just do it with the you know, the normal, like the Switch Lite. Let's say you couldn't do it without the detachable Joy-Cons. From now on, you have my respect. I shall call you Swordsman. Swordsman, you will likely need something like this in your travels. Take it. What I get? Orange rupee. 100 rupees. Alright, not bad, not bad. Imsim says, should I play Wind Waker or Skyward Sword after I finish Wind Waker tonight? Wait, you mean, should you play Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword? Do you want a sequel or do you want a prequel? Actually, wait, no. Sorry, no. Do you want a parallel story or a prequel? Because Twilight Princess is the adult Link storyline. This is the child Link storyline. Or the timeline, whatever. I'm gonna be playing Twilight Princess next. On stream. Like I said, I got hold of a Wii U emulator, so I'm gonna be using it. So there's that. Oh man, you never finished either one as a kid? You finally need to get them? Ooh. Okay, so let me say this first of all. If possible at all, get the Twilight Princess HD version, the one for the Wii U. It's really good. It is definitively better than either the GameCube version or the Wii version that came before it. It's better in basically every way as well. It's not like it's a subtle improvement in a few ways. It's not like there are some trade-offs, like some things are really good, some things are really not. Oh yeah, that is true, because they don't make it new anymore. You would have to... Ah, shoot, that's true. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get it, like... Yeah, you'd have to get it used. Same with the Wii U, and yeah, that's... Yeah, that's like $500. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth $500 to do it that way. Now, that said... you know, let me know on Discord. I may have some interesting files for you. If you're wanting to do it that way. Piracy? No, that's this game. This game's about piracy. There aren't really any pirates in Twilight Princess. Unfortunately. Kind of wish there were. It'd be kind of cool. But, oh, no, there is. I mean, it's kind of hard to consider them pirates, but No, I'm thinking of, no, Skyward Sword has pirates. Yeah, Skyward Sword's got pirates. Yeah, that's got pirates. Yeah, Twilight Princess does not. So, anyway. But yeah, if you have Skyward Sword, and you've got a Wii Motion Plus, you've already got it, go for it. Go for it. And maybe just wait, or see if you can find it, or whatever, or you can save up for it. I would definitely recommend the HD version of Twilight Princess. It's definitively better. Then again, if all you've got is the GameCube version, it's fine. It does the job. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still a good game. It's somewhat unoptimized. It was designed for the Wii. It was a release title for the Wii, so it's somewhat unoptimized, the GameCube version. But you know, there's still nothing, like I said, there's nothing actually wrong with it. Sim says, I wish they'd port Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to the Switch. Hell yeah, I wish they would. There's a lot of things I wish they'd port to Switch. Like everything. There's tons of first-party Nintendo back catalog games that porting them to Switch would be just amazing and really good too. Like Metroid Prime 2 and 3. I know they're working on it, I guess, but when they ported Metroid Prime 1, I was probably expecting them to do 2 and 3 within like a year or two, and they haven't. It's been over a year, and there's not even any word of doing 2. Man, did I play any of the Resident Evil games? I played 1. Back when I was probably way too young to play 1. And I played. Was it 4? I think it was 4. Yeah, I think it was 4. And I don't think all of it either. Not too much though. Not too much. Base says, I understand him, Synth. I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask so often as a kid. I only have passing familiarity with the other Zelda games. It's been fun. I'm glad. Even like that's the other thing too. So much of Nintendo is abandonware. If I can provide you with something akin to the experience of playing these old games, cool, great, glad to do it. Which is also why I don't like playing super new games on stream, because I know that there are a lot of people who want to experience a game with a streamer the first time, like when a first new game comes out. But I mean, if you're a gamer, you probably want to play it first, right? I know I do. Like most games, I'd rather play first myself before I watch somebody else play it. Now, I love watching other people play it. Like I said, I love watching live stream games, especially if it's more talkative, like this. But man, a lot of the time, when a new game comes out and suddenly everybody's streaming it, like, yeah, but I want to experience it myself first. That was the problem with, like, for example, with Hogwarts Legacy, right? I didn't get Hogwarts Legacy right away. I got it a little bit after it came out, in large part because my computer couldn't handle it. Like, if you watch my early streams, when I finally got around to live streaming it, first of all, I had already played it all the way through once by then. Second of all, though, my computer could barely handle it. It was chugging pretty bad in a lot of points. I wound up upgrading my CPU, and that made the difference. It absolutely made the difference about a third of the way through our live streams of the game. But I'm if you remember, like, everyone in the world was streaming Hogwarts Legacy when it first came out, and it was a lot of streamers that I love watching. But also, I kind of wanted to experience it for myself first, and so I missed the hype train, you know, and that's disappointing. So I really like streaming older games, things that are out of the right now, you know, even if it's not that old, even if it's only a few months old. I kind of like doing it that way, you know. They says I usually come for the game, stay for the philosophy, general cultural recommendations. Hey, there you go. Hey, there's something in it for everybody, right? At least hopefully. All right. Simple loves live stream so we can bug the streamer, especially philosophical questions. I'm glad you like that kind of. I'm glad. I am also glad I like that kind of questions. Otherwise I would be bugged, I'm sure, by all of you people. Should we try the 500? We have 15 minutes. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go for it. Let's go. Give it a shot. Oh gosh, excuse me. Let's try the 500. Anyway, 500 times. I want to yap about something while I'm doing this time. That I actually have come to really like, or I guess maybe I've come to realize that I really like, the Japanese takes on classical Western fantasy, right? Which is really what Legend of Zelda is, right? Legend of Zelda is a very typical Western fantasy story, but an almost traditional Western fantasy story, but with a Japanese cultural twist, right? It's not even right. It's not even a Japanese cultural twist. It's more like how Japanese culture sees the West, right? And I actually really like that sort of thing. And I realized I really like that sort of thing when I started watching Freerun recently. but I started watching. I mean, I watched the whole series in like 2 weeks because it's so good. Um, and it's very much that sort of thing, right? It is absolutely. I mean, it's an anime, right? It's very Japanese, but everything about it is culturally Western. It's absolutely Western European. The naming conventions are all German, or at least Germanic. The sort of sensibilities of everything is mostly Western. There's a couple of things that are distinctly Japanese about it, but most of it is very distinctly Western. Ow, jeez, you bastard. But I really like that sort of thing. And honestly, Legend of Zelda is the same sort of thing. It's a very Japanese take on classical Western fantasy. And watching what the Japanese have to say about Western culture is fascinating from a Western perspective, you know? It's kind of what I really like about Nier Automata, too. Like, I really like that game, not just because it's, philosophically sophisticated, which it is, but also because it's a very uniquely Japanese take on Western philosophical ideas. And yeah, you said Miyazaki. Yeah, Miyazaki loves Western fantasy more than Western authors tend to. Yeah, that's actually. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Another thing I really tend to like about Japanese Western fantasy, if you want to call it that, right? Is that it is very honest, right? It's very heartfelt. It's in no way cynical or deconstructive or whatever, because for them there's nothing to deconstruct. It's novel to them. There's still novelty, where we lost that, right? We've lost a lot of the novelty to Western fantasy because we're sort of enmeshed in it culturally. But the likes of Miyazaki or FromSoft or all that sort of thing, or like Castlevania, another good point, another really good example, the same sort of thing. I haven't watched the Netflix series, but I like the games. How is the Netflix series anyway? I've heard good things about it, but I haven't watched it. But yeah, games like that, stories like that, anime like that, books like that, whatever. They do such a good job of lending some novelty to the classic Western fantasy tropes, that otherwise in the West get treated as boring, tired, not taken seriously, usually, right? And I kind of hate that. What I kind of like most about a lot of these Japanese takes on Western fantasy is the honesty. It's the genuineness of it all, right? The Legend of Zelda set feels so heartfelt every time. Like, absolutely every time there is a Zelda game, it feels like it is absolutely from the heart. The creators love what they're doing, and none of it is like tongue-in-cheek, none of it's deconstructive, or anything like that. I will get to your question in a moment when I can read it. Sorry. If I fail, basically. Or if I win. Maybe if I win. I'm halfway there. I'm bouncy. Oh yeah, the Link praying in the 80s? Yeah, that stuff. That's great. Because, I mean, if there's one thing the Japanese love but don't understand, it's Christianity. Like, you've seen the Japanese department stores that have, like, dioramas of Santa Claus crucified. Like, yeah, they got the spirit. They're trying. They just definitely don't understand what's going on with, Christmas. And I'll also say, though, that's also especially post-World War II. Um, because before the ending of World War II and the very specific things that ended World War II, um, there was a really expansive Catholic community in Japan. Of course, the vast majority of it was in Nagasaki. So there's that. Now there's conspiracy theories about that maybe it was Truman because he was a Mason. Which, I mean, there's some plausibility to that. I won't say no. But then I guess also, maybe that, we can also say that maybe Japan kind of liked that sort of thing because it's also kind of maybe looking back into their relatively recent but still mythologized past, too. Japan has a long history with Christianity, but with it as an outside thing, you know? Getting there. My Hero Academia is basically Captain America Superman. Yeah, I can see that. I haven't watched most of it, only little bits and pieces here and there. But I can see that. Oh, bastard. Alright, one more try. But yeah, Frieren does a great job of doing the whole Western fantasy thing with a Japanese cultural perspective. Really, really, really well. Really, 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 really well. Also, yes, I forget who it is, but yes, the church is very close to canonizing its first samurai saint. I believe the various miracles have been attributed and everything, all approved and everything. It's just in the sort of finalization process. He's considered a blessed at this point, I think. I forget, again, I can't remember his name, but before I begin, Simp asked, what tips can you give to actually sitting down and writing or world building in terms of motivating yourself or writing prompts? I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm not great at that sort of thing. So, I mean, I'll tell you the same thing everybody else tells you, like set yourself deadlines, set yourself work structure, figure out how you work best, and then just do it. Oh, Jesus, that was terrible. Move around a lot, right? If part of your project is not interesting you right now, feel free to move on to something else, right? If this part of the world is just really getting in your way and you're just not feeling it right now, pick something else. Write about something else right now. That's especially beneficial because if you're doing world building, because you're not doing a novel where one part really depends upon another part. If you're just doing specifically world building, you can manage. You can say, all right, well, this era in this place is boring me right now, so I'm going to go across the world. I'm going to go to a different part of the world, and I'm going to write about that next. You can totally do that, and it's much easier to do it that way than doing the same sort of thing in a novel where, you know, if you're writing chapter 1 or maybe you're writing chapter 5 and it's really not doing it for you right now, you can't just say, all right, I'm going to move on to chapter 10 right now and go on to that other part of the book that I really want to write about, that I'm really thinking about. Because you can draft later parts, maybe, I guess, but it's way harder because now you don't have what leads up to it. Oh, bastard. Okay, I'm screwed up this time. Go ahead, hit me. Try again. Start over. I got 5 minutes left. This is gonna be my last try. Last try. But yeah, that's honestly the best I can do. I am... Also, don't obsess. Don't get yourself burnt out. Burnout will kill you, and you'll never come back to it, or you'll never want to come back to it. So don't burn out. Don't burn yourself out on it. If you're not feeling it right now, come back to it later. Do something else. Do another part of it. Do another part of the project, and then come back to the part that you got kind of stuck on. That's totally fine. Oh, fuck. Really? Okay. But basically do everything you can to avoid getting burnt out on it. Really? All right, I said this was going to be my last try, so I'm holding to it. But I'm really going to give it. I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to see if I can do this with one heart left. See if I can get 570 hits before I get hit one time. Or 470, whatever. Too many. I really doubt it, but we'll see. Oh, that was close. Ah, okay. Well, there we go. Maybe I'll try it next time. Bay says, I honestly have so much trouble imagining younger generations of various countries actually going to war with each other. With how culturally integrated we all are, propaganda of the 40s wouldn't fly. I think you're right. That was really bad. Don't patronize me, old man. That said, I do think that there is plenty of propaganda that absolutely would work. So don't immediately think that we're immune to propaganda. Just we're gonna fall for different propaganda. That's all. Yeah, I think that there are plenty of wars that could definitely still happen. It just has to be on different bases. You know, the propaganda has to be on different bases than it has been in the past. You can't just depict the Japanese as mongoloids and just go with it. Fine, you can't do that. What you can do is act as if they are a threat not only to us but to the world itself, and to say that we must go to war with them. Maybe not the Japanese, but maybe to war with China. Right? We could definitely get into a war with China if we can convince ourselves and our people. By we, I mean if the state can convince the people, or enough of the people, that China is an existential threat not only to us but to the rest of the world. If we can get convinced that it's a matter of they are the outlier and everybody else are the good guys, then yeah, I absolutely think that the propaganda could work. Absolutely. I mean, look at Russia. Look at how many U.S. citizens. I think that there's probably a majority of the U.S. who you could get to vote for a war with Russia, and you could probably recruit enough people to actually fight it. Maybe not win it, because let's be honest, that war is damn near unwinnable, and also it would devolve into a nuclear holocaust. But forget about that for a minute. Assume conventional warfare, I guess, for hypothetical sake. You could probably recruit enough people. If you spin it well enough, you can do it. Anyway, on that horribly dour note, I think that's what we're going to have to call it for the night. Anyway, I've been having a great time. Next week is probably mostly going to be side quest stuff. Like, we're going to go back to Outside Island. We're going to do the what's it called? The auction. We're going to try and do some more of the trading quest, yada, 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 yada. So we'll do a bunch of more stuff like that. Should be a good time. But with that, I'll see you guys next time. So, I hope you guys had as good a time as I did with this. I'm loving this game so much. Thanks for sticking through it with me. And I guess I'll see you guys next week. So with that, remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.